Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aquarius. If Aquarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so, Aquarius, our card tonight is the Seven of Wands, which has everything to do with valor in the Thoth system. Okay. And let's take a look and see what's going on here. See what these tea leaves have to say. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. Also, if you want to leave a comment or hit the like button, I would not be mad. But you don't have to. All right, let's see here. So immediately I saw a person kind of in a seated or crouched position. Right in front of them, it looks like they have a crab, right? And you can kind of see the body and the little claws. Getting angry over there, crab. And above we have, it looks like a evergreen tree of some kind of that very classic, stereotypical, outline of a tree, right? And so I'm looking at this and to me, it speaks to having encounters with maybe like a soul guide, a spirit guide. Maybe you have been seeing somebody who does some kind of energy clearing. It might be that you're seeing like a shaman or a bruja, maybe a fetish practitioner. Now, not to be confused, right? Fetish is a kind of magic. Folk magic, folk divination, right? If you want to, like things like voodoo, vandu. I don't know if Santeria is technically fetish, but these kinds of magical traditions. And so whoever this is, if they are in the physical world or if they are somebody you are woven into in the interior or astral or whatever, wherever you perceive it to be, this is somebody who, I almost feel like this is the only intelligence, the only being that has ever kind of gotten through to that heart space with you. And I think it's because there's just honesty there. And I know, as you know, you're an Aquarius, right? You value plain talk, right? And also just get to the point of the matter, right? Get to the core of the thing and be real, be honest, transparent, all of that. When somebody, and if you just even pick up on like there's a different inflection in their voice, or you know when somebody is fibbing or lying or omitting or any of that. So I think that this intelligence, this magical practitioner, this medicine person, whoever they are, has only been honest with you. Clear. Not, salacious or, getting you all wound up and scared about things. No. Just what it is, what they are seeing, what they are experiencing around you, within you, all of that. And now we have the crab. So I feel like this is really kind of a message of you being very guarded lately. maybe in the last few years. And really kind of building a wall around yourself, to be honest. I feel like at times it almost, I don't know why this came to mind, but it almost feels like I hear somebody saying, like, I'm a ghost in my own life. I'm walking through my life and nobody sees me. The things that I do, I say, I'm experiencing, whatever, it affects no one. Nobody notices. And I feel like that's a deep wound. That's something that it feels very heartbreaking. There's even just saying it, there's like a bitter taste in my mouth. I don't know. I don't think that you're mad about it. I also don't think that you are like feeling like, oh, I'm the victim here. But I think it's kind of like, I almost feel like you're beginning to become your next form. And I think part of that is going to be about being fairly solitary. Now, you might be married and have a family and kids and coworkers and friends and all these things. Of course, that doesn't mean you aren't a solitary person. I mean, I'm not saying that you're a recluse, although you could be as well. I don't know. Shout out to the fellow recluses out there. I know, like growing up, from my teens on, even now, like, what do I want to be when I grow up? I want to be a recluse. I want to go live in a tree somewhere. But yeah, I think that this is kind of, you are moving into a place where the spiritual work, your connection to the divine, to the borderlands, as Castaneda would say, that takes priority over everything. And for now, it seems that it will call for you to, maybe focus inward, focus on your life, your little small life. I'm not saying anything bad about a small life. Listen, a small life is the best life, in my opinion. But we all have small lives, ultimately, right? And I can imagine as things change and we're kind of, we set our sights into these places where you're walking alone a lot of the time. I mean, you could be even like myself. I'm married to a practitioner, an occultist, a tarot reader. By the way, shout out to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. You should go check him out. He's amazing. Again, it's Dove and Serpent Tarot. And his name is Paul. He's the best. But yeah, we're both practitioners. We both practice within the same realms of systems. We have a lot of similar, devotions and loves and interests and all these things. Yet, neither of us can be, there's no fooling us, myself, that I'm a single, solitary being connected to a greater, web of infinite beings, right? So I'm both alone and not, right? It's always that cognitive dissonance. But yeah, you could be like the most close codependent people ever, and you're still going to be doing this work alone for the most part. And that's just how it is. That's how it's always been, and maybe will always be. And it's not easy. But I think of many of the signs, you have the ability to do this with grace and courage and fortitude. Now, if you were like a Leo or something, I would say, well, I don't know about this. But yeah, I think that is maybe the biggest thing on your mind right now, is you're feeling like you're being pulled in this new direction. And it's not something that is easy to just accept, because I feel like it is. It's very different than how you've lived before. All right, so we also have, it looks like the word Ivy, I-V-Y. We also have, I don't want to, okay, so we have the being with the scythe, right? So maybe death, chronos, time, one of these things. We have a person saying no. You can see the head kind of back and arm raised, hand out. No, stop. I'm trying to cover my finger. I burnt myself baking. And I tried to keep a Band-Aid on it, but it hurt too much. So I'm sorry. I apologize. Don't look at my finger. Don't look at me. So, yeah, this really seems to be a theme in my readings tonight. It's like there is this feeling of being acutely aware of mortality. It might be because we're very much in the Saturnian lands right now. We're leading up, right, to that longest night, and it's coming soon. And I think that this is something that you contemplate about yourself, about others. And I don't think that it's something that you shy away from, but I do think that at times you can become kind of taken by it, where maybe you have a hard time letting go of this thinking and moving on to the next task. And so I can't really give good advice except for what I know myself. And I'm a person, I lean into these kinds of feelings. There's so much of my things, they're related to the idea of death, or death, personified, and my jewelry and my knickknacks and things. And it's not because I'm like, some angsty goth kid, although I was that a little bit. I wasn't goth, but I was, adjacent. And I was definitely angsty. But it's not that. It's because I live close to that veil. I live in the borderlands. I've myself had 2 experiences with my heart stopping. Once I was in a coma for days and days. And to me, it's something like family, but it's not like that for everybody, of course. So I feel like this is maybe a good time. This maybe is a call to leaning into the idea of death and the process of death. Maybe volunteering at a hospice, or, going to like an assisted living place to go and visit with people. Maybe it is meditating on the imagery, creating your own, you know, like a Santa Muerte altar. Maybe it is prayer, contemplation. But whatever it is, I feel it very close to you. And that's not to say that, like, it's coming. Well, it's coming for all of us, right? But that's not what I mean. But it is close to you because it is in your psyche. And really, it's close to all of us all the time, right? And so, make friends. Make friends with those things. I was saying Leo earlier. Now I'm seeing we have Leo. L-E-O right here, Leo. We also have CC. 2 C's. What is that? Is that Chanel that has the 2 C's that face each other? I can't remember. I don't know anything about stuff like that, really. I'm trying to think. But yeah. So I don't know. I always want to be so careful about these kinds of topics because it's such a touchy subject with some people, a lot of people, I think. And for me, it's normal. I will meet you and 2 minutes later, I'll be talking about, you know, whatever, trauma dumping, and or asking you questions that are just like so out of pocket. Like, what is this lady talking about, you know? But yeah, sometimes we have to kind of ease into it, and that's okay. Absolutely. But here's the thing. Do not hide from it. Do not try to cover your life in things that hide the fact that there is decay, that there is, there is entropy at some point, right? Or the things are, kind of in a state of beginning disillusion, right? The more we try to hide from this, the scarier it gets. It becomes that monster in the night, the boogeyman, right? Well, death, right? Personified. Think the skeleton and the scythe, and it's scary. Oh my gosh, go look at some of the medieval motifs. I mean, the maiden in death, that one's really weird. There's one, I forget what it's called, but it's like it's a maiden and then death is like dancing for some reason, and it's not like one image. It's a lot of, it's like a motif. And so I don't know. I have to study that one a little bit more, but it's a weird one. And it's kind of silly, some of the pictures. But definitely go look at some of the imagery. All right, let's see. Let's go to the next. I feel like there's a relationship in your family, or like maybe like a younger person who's dating somebody. Maybe they're even wanting to get married or wanting to have kids, but they're like pretty young by like modern standards anyways. They're adults, but young adults. And you think of them maybe as children. And we have the number 515. But I feel like there's a group of people within the family really railing against this. But there's one person who is really trying to get involved in like sabotage or talk them out of it, or, you know, whatever. But I think it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of pointless. I don't think it's something that you can stop. And I don't know that you're even involved in like this effort to end this relationship, or at least slow it down. I feel like this is something that's going on, and it almost kind of gives you anxiety. I feel like, well, maybe it's even kind of a repeat of your own experience to some degree. and feeling maybe like it brings up these old memories. I don't know how else to tell you this, but it says toot. T-O-O-T. I was like, what else could that be? Right? But it looks like it says toot. So that, I don't know. I don't know. Somebody's been eating Brussels sprouts, maybe. Okay, let's see. We have a fairy on top of a flower here. You can see the flower kind of like a tulip or something like that. And then on top, you can see, let me get my stick. You can see the little fairy right here with their arms up, 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 up. And then we have, it looks like by their hand, the number 28, 28. And then we have, it looks like the face of a dog here. It reminds me of like a, what are those called? Are they called whippers? A whip? No, I have to look it up. I used to be in like what's it called? A whippet. That was like a whipper. I don't know what it's called. A whippet. W-H-I-P-P-E-T. Oh my goodness. Anyways, yes, like I was in a Facebook group. I was in a Facebook group that was all about these dogs. And they're kind of skinny and they're like timid. They seem kind of timid. But the dog represents a good friend, a loyal friend. We also have a fish that's jumping. So I kind of feel like there is a chance for money that you weren't expecting. And I think that maybe is going to be like a job offer or some kind of opportunity to do work with somebody that you're really close with, that you love dearly, because yes, they're your best friend. And so that looks really promising, actually. And now I want to do our oracle cards. We're going to do the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. And I'm just going to ask, how are these next few days going to be? And we're just going to do about 6 cards probably. Independence, achievement, romance. Oh, romance. Acquisition. So maybe you're kind of a business person, or maybe you started a business, you took over somebody's business, something like this. So we have so doing good, doing well with it, doing well. I feel like you've had to work on being more and more assertive, but that's, I think we all have to. Okay, and then ostentation, so showy. So I feel like there's maybe a little bit of leaning into showing off your achievements or your, your monies, maybe your looks, I don't know, something. But I think that sometimes you kind of go into this mode as a defense mechanism, because I think it does. It creates some space between you and anybody else, whoever you're kind of showing out for, unless you are going for the romance, right? Peacocking, as they call it. I think that it can kind of overshadow your true being, right? Your true personality. And I don't know, I think that if you know it or not, sometimes it's kind of like a self-sabotaging thing. You're pushing people away, you know, and I don't think that that's really your intention at all. So I do think, though, that the romance really has to do with business here, or work, or like maybe you're post-work, you're in retirement, you're like starting like a club, or you're taking over the, what's it called, the HOA or whatever. You're going to be on the board of the HOA or whatever. And yeah, you are real. It's, you know, there's like blood in the water type of deal. And I think that you kind of actually feel pretty good about this. And it's like finding something that really feels exciting to be doing. You're not just like waking up, oh, I have to do this again. No, you're like totally excited to put forth, you know, your amazing abilities in this particular thing that you do. And I almost feel like you snap into like a whole different kind of vibe, right? I don't think it's like on purpose or anything, but you're just so confident, which is wonderful. I love that. Okay, so we're going to do 3 lucky numbers. 66, 66. 99, are you serious? 66, 99. And when is this one? 51. All right, cool. Now we're going to do our Mary Magdalene Oracle cards. And these are from Megan Watterson. They're beautiful. I love them. And they're just going to kind of punctuate the reading. Witness. I am fully seen. Yeah, the universe, like, even I get tripped out sometimes. I'm like, hey now. I literally just was talking about feeling like we're walking through life not being seen, right? Well, here's the universe telling you. It is witnessing you. It is fully seeing you. You are seen. All right, Aquarius, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you, because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel a lot. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you would like to leave a comment, I want to hear from you. Absolutely. Do it. I read all of them. And other than that, I think we're done. I'm going to wrap up here. I'm going to go watch. It's election night here in the United States. And I don't know how to feel about anything anymore. But I am going to go witness that on TV with my husband. But yeah, again, I love you. Everything is in its right place always. Even if we don't understand it. And if it seems really, really freaking bleak, just remember, we'll get through this. We always do. You're a powerful being. And you are fully seen. All right, good night.